Respond to RFPs faster and more efficiently so you can bid more. This, or similar claims by software vendors, has been a bit of a pet hate of mine for years. It's not that it's wrong or even misleading, it's just that I don't accept the underlying premise. Why? Well, because it assumes that bidding more is the goal. It's saying if our stressed and overworked bid team could only work faster, they could do even more work. I've realised part of the problem is that this message isn't meant for me or any bid and proposal professional. It's meant for the decision making executives who might buy the product. And what they want to hear is growth, efficiency, return on investment. And the easiest way to show that is, well, you can bid more. The problem, as I see it, is getting executive buy-in is one thing, but getting everyday buy-in is a whole different problem. Because selling RFP software is a two-stage game. First, you need to sell the investment benefits to decision makers. And then you need to sell a better everyday reality to the people who'll actually have to work with it. And when I say sell, that means both from a vendor sales point of view, but also that internal sales process. There's the executives who will buy it, and then the users you need to get to use it. And the problem is, those two audiences, they want completely different things. Executives want to hear how a new tool will be an investment in their business. It will make revenue grow, reduce their costs, increase profitability, expand their market share, improve customer experience, or mitigate risk to the business. Or, to put it another way, better bids faster, more efficiently, so you can bid more, improve quality, and increase compliance. That sounds familiar. It's easy to see how speeding up the bid function looks like it directly correlates with business success. RFPs now influence over a third of company revenue. Submission volumes are climbing every year, and top teams are leaning into tech to gain a competitive edge. That means the executive decision becomes simple. By making bid teams faster, RFP software just pays for itself in the time it takes to say, I don't know, autonomous AI agents. That's why we're seeing an escalating arms race of time to first draft claims. But I think any bid professional knows the time to first draft is really quite meaningless because no one ever won a bid because they wrote their first draft first. Faster and more efficient doesn't really motivate bid professionals. That's not the game we're in. And especially if the implication is we can be made to bid more or with fewer resources or with less reliance on all of our hard won skills. Bid teams are famously perma-stressed by unreasonable expectations with unrealistic deadlines. But we do it anyway, and we love it. And we do it in a way that works for us because honestly, if we were to stop for 1 minute to try a new approach, the whole thing would collapse. Or so it feels. We're too busy answering RFPs today to worry about how tomorrow could be easier. And I think some of the time the last thing we want is more speed and efficiency. We're going as fast as we can while still delivering high quality winning outputs, which is what we think is most important. But now you want us to go faster and bid more? Right now, you might be wondering where I'm going with this because this is the Bid Geek channel. It's supposed to be a relentlessly upbeat advocate for bid technology, RFP software, AI powered proposals. And don't worry, I haven't repented my techie ways. I still believe technology can help us bid better, inspire more creativity, and improve our well being. I'm just saying we're hearing the wrong messaging for the wrong audience. So how do you sell that better everyday reality to the people who use the technology? Well, what users need to hear is very different from the vision sold to executives. They need to know how it will make their job easier, how they'll be able to find the right answer the first time, how they'll be able to spend more time on the parts of their jobs they really enjoy, and how it will help make their bids better, than themselves smarter, um, and their proposals more human. We need to talk to their day-to-day pain. Talk about saving them from the dictatorship of bids tracker spreadsheets and out of control version control. Make it relatable because you're you're not replacing just old manual processes, but there's years of ingrained memory and a whole lot of DIY heroism going on. You need to honor that. And it's all very well to trot out phrases like work smarter, not harder, but we have to mean it. Because too often what happens in practice is work smarter, and now you can work harder. It doesn't have to be like that. It shouldn't be like that. So then how can we change the messaging for the bid team audience? Well, we could start by addressing some of the biggest stressors in bids. Repeated surveys have found our biggest challenges are collaborating with SMEs and the difficulty in getting input from multiple contributors. It's finding up-to-date, accurate answers, or choosing the best answer from a group, or just the overwhelming volume of siloed and scattered information. It's it's having the bandwidth to answer all of the RFPs we can bid on, and then just too few resources to effectively handle the volume of requests. It's feeling overworked and the risk of burnout among team members. It's the time wasted providing sales team members with ad hoc answers. These are all real challenges where bid technology can have a huge positive impact, but none of that's about going faster, being more efficient, or bidding more. It's a very different message. It's about being easier, offloading tasks for automation, and empowering others. Of course, bid professionals are going to welcome ways to save time. If we can speed up the dull and boring parts of the process, absolutely count me in. But as I've said many times before, saving time is really a feature of bid technology. And it doesn't become a benefit until we decide what to do with that time. And then if we're just going to bid more, then really what's the point? You know, some years ago, my neighbour bought himself a new petrol lawnmower, and it meant he could cut his grass in half the time. But then imagine if I just told him, well, now you can mow my lawn too. If it was a ride-on lawnmower, I'd offer to cut his lawn for him because that looks like great fun. But it isn't, so I won't. I'd love to save time in bidding, but I want to spend it making bids better, more human, more fun, not just doing more. Investing in RFP software, I think, is really a very simple and obvious decision with a clear return on investment, much like buying a ride-on lawnmower. The tricky bit is deciding which software or which lawnmower. But deploying software so you can simply bid more is a false return. Like buying a lawnmower, but now you mow everyone else's lawns. Instead, I think let's use technology to free bid professionals from the boring tasks and inspire them to be more creative, or even just take the pressure off a little. Now, that's exactly like buying a ride-on lawnmower. I think buying software is the easy part. Getting people to love using it, that's the real return on investment. Thanks for watching this video. If you would like to subscribe, you'll get notifications when I release new content, and hopefully that's good for you. And increasing my subscribers, that's good for me and the channel too. Thank you.